And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here.
Here you are. Thank you. Next. Awesome. There you are, sir.
Kyle?
Austin?
What are you doing, dude?
Signing autographs.
I mean, what happened?
Well, you see, after we got done with our podcast, I ended up getting signed by the Savannah Bananas.
That's insane.
So, yeah, kind of made it big time after all the YouTube stuff we did.
You know, I kind of miss the podcast days.
I do too.
I think we should try it again. You in?
Sure, I ain't got nothing better to do.
All right, but before, can I get a picture with you?
Absolutely.
All right, sweet.
What is up, guys? We are back. First podcast of 2024. I am Kyle.
I'm Austin.
You almost forgot your name
I
there
almost
for a
did for a
second.
minute.
We are very excited to be back with another round of baseball, another round of the On Deck podcast. Had a lot of big moves over this offseason that we're going to start off with here. You want to kick us off with our homeboys, the Cardinals?
Sure will. It's been another semi-disappointing offseason.
As always. As always.
But I will say, very excited about the Sonny Gray signing for 3 years, $75 million. I mean, we finally got an ace, I believe, an actual ace, who's hopefully going to be under 3 ERA for the season. Then we got Kyle Gibson. Semi-excited about that.
His wins were very plentiful. I think he had 15 wins.
Yeah.
But he had a 4 ERA.
ERA was high.
But
I mean, that was a 1 year signing too, $13 million.
it's obviously an upgrade.
Oh yeah.
Anything's an upgrade over what we had last year.
What we have right now, there can't be downgrading.
No.
Except for possibly this one right here, Lance Lynn coming back. I don't know.
I like the idea of having the name,
Yeah.
but I'm not excited about how bad he is right now.
A 1 year
being
signing
back.
for Lance Lynn to come
I
back.
just,
And we spent
don't know.
$11 million on him. $11 million.
yeah, I
on
know.
a
I
guy
don't know
who's
how
about
I
to
feel
retire.
about that.
Then this Keenan Middleton from the Yankees. I'm kind of excited to see what he's got. I think
Yeah,
he's
me
young.
too.
I don't know how old he is. He kind of looks young.
Me too.
And we only spent $6 million on him. Only another 1 year signing. That's all. Is that all of our pitchers? That's all of our big signing pitching that, we got that I care about. Then we're also bringing back old Matt Carpenter.
Now, part of me wants to be so stinking
I
excited
love
about
Matt
Matt
Carpenter.
Carpenter being back. But the problem is his sub 200 batting average does not thrill me by any means.
Like, it's good to have the name back, fun to have the name back, but it sucks because
It's nice to know the Cardinals will always be a good retirement home
That's
for
all
all
we
the
are.
washed up players that are going
Retirement
to retire next year.
I mean, hey, we only spent the league minimum at $740,000 on them. So, but speaking of retirement home, we're also going to go ahead and retire Brendan Crawford after this year, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we signed him for. I know it was a year. I love Brandon Crawford.
Oh, I always
always one of my
loved Brent, yeah. But
And I love his
anymore, he hasn't been him.
No, I mean,
And I'm not very
I think
excited
the
about
thought
it.
process behind that was to just kind of give Mason Wynn a little bit,
of veteran instinct, yeah.
Which I think
Which is
cool.
good,
Yeah.
which that's good, but I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how I feel about it.
he's a great defensive player, but he's never been
The other
offensive player.
very depressing news on my end that you don't have on your list for the Cardinals transactions. My boy Tyler's gone.
Oh yeah.
He got traded to Boston for a very underwhelming relief pitcher.
Yeah.
Feel like we could have got a lot more out of Tyler than what we did.
Ever since the Nato trade, we haven't made a good trade.
Yeah.
The Nato trade, they were like, we did so good on this one, we're just gonna suck on the rest of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
So I don't know. I'm not.
it's gonna be another rough season as it always is, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I agree.
That's all I got for us.
So we'll go over the rest of the big time trades from around and the big signings. First up, I'm gonna wait on the Dodger news, but the big one was the Yankees finally did go ahead and complete a trade with the Padres for Juan Soto. They tried it last year, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
This year they have the guy. They got him and Trent Grisham both on a combo deal. The two big names they got were Michael King and Kyle Hishikawa. They did get a couple other pitchers, but they weren't, really big ones. Those were the two big names. Then, it would help if I... Oh, sorry, it'd help if I had the dude's name in here somewhere. All I had was the details. Alex Verdugo also signed with the Yankees for roughly about $9 million coming up in 2024. Rhys Hoskins is no longer a Philly because my boy Bryce, I know it's upsetting, but I'm excited to see Bryce at first base.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like he could have stayed in the outfield.
Yeah, with his arm.
And now that he's back.
All of his defense. Right?
Yeah, now that he's, Reese would be back and healthy, I feel like that'd be a good option, or leave him DH or something.
Or we could have signed him for a DH.
I would have loved to have Rhys Hoskins. Good backup first
We knew
baseman.
that wouldn't happen, though. He's too too young for us.
Yeah, he's only 30. That ain't old enough yet. But he went to Milwaukee, the Brewers. These guys are going to be in the running. You mark my words. Let me just tell you something. Last year, if you remember, spring training, one of our first podcasts we ever did, I said the sleeper pick of the century that's going to come out firing was the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I remember that.
And guess who went to the World Series and was nationally champions? The Arizona Diamondbacks. I called that so hardcore. I called that so good. So now here's my sleeper pick for 2024. You heard it first on our first. Kansas City Royals.
Oh, that's shocker.
Kansas City Royals. Kansas City signed free agent outfielder Hunter Renfroe, which I think is a great addition to the team. They definitely needed some depth in their outfield. That's going to give it to them. They signed starting pitcher Michael Wacha, former Cardinal relief pitcher Chris Stratton, which are good boosts to what they had. Yeah. They didn't have pitching either. Seth Lugo was a big one that they did, and Will Smith, the pitcher, not the catcher. Yeah. They didn't get that lucky, but they've got powerhouse behind the plate. So Austin Nola, another catcher, they signed. They signed John Lester. No, hey John Lester. What Lester? This guy's first baseman. How is this John Lester? There must be another John Lester, but they signed him to a minor league contract at first base. Either that or he decided to switch. I'm like, there's no way he's retired.
So I'm tired of pitching. Tired of being...
They did a big contract extension of 11 years for Bobby Witt Jr. Dude's a beast. Smart. Absolute beast. And he's so young. And then they signed second baseman Adam Frazier.
That's a big one.
Some more veteran there.
I like him.
So some big-time moves coming in Kansas City. If you can get Salvi back on his horse of like his MVP kind of style candidacy he had just a few years ago, along with the pitching upgrades you had, all the way around, some starting and bullpen help you got. You added a big-time threat in the outfield in Renfroe. Yeah. That's a big addition too. Re-signed your absolute stud at the hot corner.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I mean, I think they got a shot.
Kind of like they're just kind of building around him, I think.
Yeah.
Starting a rebuild.
And then, small rebuild. You got a good backup catcher in Nola.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid one. Oh, they signed Kyle Wright too.
Oh, yeah.
Pitcher Kyle Wright from Arizona, or from Atlanta. That's another big one too. Yeah. That's another big addition too. I don't know. I think that they are poised to make a big triumphant comeback. I don't know how far they're going to go, but they're my sleeper pick because they've just made the moves. Yeah. And everybody's been saying how much that they've won the postseason out of every other team. That's the team that did the most.
Yeah.
Boston done some moves. Of course, they got Tyler from us. Sad day. Good news is when we go to Colorado in July, Boston's in town, so I get to go to Colorado and watch Tyler. Hopefully, I get to actually meet him in person and get him to actually sign this jersey, and then I'll sell the other one. But they got, where's all my stuff here for them? They made a couple big pitching moves. They did lose Chris Sale, but they picked up Lucas Giolito from Chicago. That was a big one. Big replacement for Chris Sale and a younger replacement for Chris Sale. I think that was an extremely big, smart move. And then they signed Liam Hendricks, which was another big one, too. A 2-year contract.
Has this year.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. No, Tyler hasn't been great except for his 21 big season where he finished 6th in the MVP votings.
Yeah.
But if you get Tyler healthy enough all season, especially because he can go oppo all day long. He's a big oppo power guy. that short porch is going to put him back into 30 homers all day long. You know, they don't have, other than dead center, it's not a big ball field.
No, not at all.
It's just tall if you pull.
Yeah.
But Tyler can power all. I think that's going to be, plus that defense and speed in the outfield is going to be killer for Boston.
Yeah.
They, especially with the loss of Verdugo, that's a big defensive weapon that they really needed to pick up and still have some power. Probably more power than even Verdugo has.
For sure.
You know? And then, of course, adding 2 big starters in place of Chris coming out. But Chris has been a lot of injury. He's older. He hasn't been the Chris Sale we know.
Yeah.
These 2 guys are younger and both good.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to bode really well. I like them too. Of course, they have Devers. You know, Devers is an extremely great third baseman all the way around.
Yeah.
I like their odds too. Now to the team that I hate the absolute most, except for the Astros, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Man,
I cannot stand the Dodgers.
so much money.
If they didn't already have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith behind the plate, one of the better catchers in baseball right now.
I mean,
You know, they have Max Muncy. They have,
it's absolutely stacked.
you know, you have
All
Clayton
around.
Kershaw. You have Walker Buehler's coming back from injury. Yeah, let's just go out and add 3 more insane arms. The Japanese pitching phenomenon. Not going to say his first name, but Yamamoto. Because I can never get it right.
Dude, in his spring training debut, he looked nasty.
Oh, yes,
my
absolutely. And I'm mad about this. We should have got him. I'm not mad about Sonny Gray, but I don't think we stand a chance against the Dodgers if it comes down to it.
I don't either.
But we've always done good against them in the postseason.
But
But
not now.
then they picked up Tyler Glasnow
Yeah.
from the
That's
Rays.
good. I've always liked him.
Tyler Glasnow is a huge. And if that wasn't good enough, let us just go out and sign Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, that sounds
And one of the
awesome.
craziest contracts ever, too. They're not
That
paying him
sounds
that
awesome.
much while he plays.
Yeah, and he 100%. He ain't even gonna pitch a single game all season.
Yeah.
He can only DH because of his surgery.
So that just means they just get better after this year.
Yeah.
That's the bad part.
So, just their rotation right now, though. Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, and then Dustin May.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Dustin May's really good, too.
Yes, he is. The dude's a freak, too.
And he's their 5th. That's
That's their 5th.
That's what's crazy.
And then next year, one of them has to go because here comes Shohei Ohtani back into the rotation.
May, I would imagine.
And then that just puts you in an extremely great stamina guy in the bullpen and gives you an even better starter in your
But then,
5.
I mean, hey, think of this. We'll have probably Dustin May signing somebody next year, Clayton Kershaw signing with a different team next
Yeah,
year.
Kershaw's probably done after this year.
I mean,
I feel like he's
he always
probably done.
acts like he's going to be done. He just keeps signing those 1-year contracts. He's like Wainwright.
I feel like he's probably going to
needs
be
to
done
be.
after this
But-
year. Because I think he's 42 or 43 this year.
He's up there, but he's still killing
But either way,
He's still...
then you still get Shohei in the batting order for them. The Dodgers
Who
are
also
just...
maybe playing outfield.
Yeah.
That's just...
I'm like... Which I don't see how that works because you can't pitch. How are you going to throw a bullet from the outfield
Yeah, that's what I was...
and not hurt
I guess
something?
because you're not throwing it.
Well, you know what? All I could say is you be dumb. You put him out there, and then you don't have him at all for the season.
Ever.
And just completely destroy the dude's arm. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it helps
That's
us.
just one less threat in the league.
Helps.
But I think that's the best rotation period. Hands down. They've got the best rotation.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely
And-
no sleeper pick. They're probably just about...
No, they're
America's
the pick.
They're America's pick to win the World Series. I
You
think.
know, that's just too much.
If they don't win at least
They got too
3
much
in
money.
10 years,
They got too much money,
it's
and I hate it.
ridiculous. I did see something about talks about putting like a cap on how much teams can spend. That should have happened
Oh yeah.
a while ago.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Especially before this season.
yeah, that's just,
That's ridiculous. But what are your thoughts and early predictions for the Cardinals this year, though?
okay. So I'm gonna go with, as much as I hate to see it, and how much I hate to say it, I don't think we're getting first place this year. I want to say we are. I want to have that confidence. But it hurts me even more to say I think the Cubs are going to get first place this year.
They.
Right along Brewers.
That's one I
following
forgot.
up.
That's the one I forgot. They re-signed Cody Bellinger.
yeah.
They did re-sign Belly, so that's
And then they
big
got,
for them because he had a
that
big
other
breakout
Japanese
year.
Pitcher. I can't think of his name.
Oh, I can't
They
think of
just
his
signed
name
him.
either.
He's
Yeah, they just signed
new
him
guy.
too. So that's
And he looked good.
and then of course Drew Smiley's in there.
Yeah.
And you know, So they've got a really good looking bullpen or rotation too.
The only hope
Honestly,
is the Central-
Justin Steele's the other one I was
Yeah.
thinking of. That's the big gun for them.
The Central just isn't stacked, which is kind of our only hope. The Cubs are probably the most stacked, and that's really not that stacked if we really think about it.
You know, Dansby Swanson being back from injury this year
Yeah.
and stuff, full season then they re-signed Belly. You know, Suzuki. Seiya Suzuki's a really good one out there. They've got some pretty good threats and weapons too. So
I'd much rather see the Brewers on top than them.
Well, and it's kind of surprising because they had basically the same team as they do this year, except minus that one new Japanese pitcher they signed.
Yeah.
But they didn't do so. They got was it third? Third in the division.
Yeah, third. Yeah, because we got last Pirates.
Yeah, we got last Pirates, and the Reds came in second.
Yeah.
They somehow came from like the worst team in baseball and ended up second in the division.
The way it started out, I was like, man, I hate to be a fan of them, but
Yeah, no, just kidding. We are the ones that we hated to be a fan of. The Cardinals blew it big time. I don't know. I don't think we did enough for our pitching to be that much more stellar.
I think we signed maybe two decent guys.
Gray
that might actually
and Gibson were the only two
help. Yeah,
big signings.
and that
And Gibson wasn't that big,
no,
but it's definitely an improvement.
yeah, and then the guy from the Yankees, I think he's a bullpen pitcher, if I remember. Right.
Yeah. I did see a thing where not Giolito, I got him on the mind. Gallegos, Gio's where I was going. He did come out and say that he's preparing to have as absolute great of a 2024 bounce back as he can.
Yeah, and he, I think he's lost a lot of weight, and
So I'm really excited to see if he can live up to the hype. That would be big in the bullpen if we can rely on him to help Helsley. And if this Middleton comes out firing, that'd be great to have some bullpen depth.
yeah, we still got a lot of.
I mean,
pitching left to do,
honestly,
I think.
I would feel like probably with Dakota Hudson being gone now too, I feel like I don't know what kind of bug that was. I feel like Libertor is probably going to get the 5th spot in the rotation.
Yeah,
But I don't really
we
know.
know Sonny Gray's already he's already our opening day starter. So
Yeah. Sony Miles, I think, even came out and said he was very much working on trying to see if he can get 2024 back on track.
yeah,
If we can get him back to 22 when he had a really good season, then get him back to 22, Gray be a Cy Young finalist again, and Lynn halfway at least be better than what Miles and Wainwright were last year.
Yeah.
Some kind of help. And then Gibson be another 15-win pitcher. Even if he's got a little higher ERA, if he's getting the job done
take the
enough for the wins, then
that's where
our
offense will come into play. I think we'll have a better offense this season. I think last year was just something was not clicking with our offense.
we didn't put the right roids in the water or something last year.
I don't know. It's
Because, we went from having an MVP and an MVP runner-up
yeah,
in Nato and Goldie
to not even in the talks.
to barely hitting 270 and barely hitting 20 home runs apiece.
Yeah,
When Goldie had a 314 batting average. No, 317. Sorry. I got it now. 317 batting average with 34 homers and over 100 RBIs and an MVP in 22.
Yeah.
Down to a barely 270 with like only 22 or 23 homers
yeah.
and not 100 RBIs.
would
What
say-
in the heck happened?
Nato's looking good so far in spring training.
Nato's looking great.
mean,
Goldie, I don't think even has a hit in spring
Goldie
training.
hasn't been doing anything.
I honestly, every time I watch and I look, he never has a hit.
No, he hasn't been doing anything.
I don't know if he has a hit
He,
all spring. I got to find this out really quick while you talk here.
He had two
By the way,
bases
we
loaded
lost 7-1 today.
opportunities. Dang. He had 2 bases loaded opportunities Friday, I think it was, Friday's game, maybe Thursday's game. And I'm pretty sure he popped out in one and grounded out in the other.
Let me pop up that roster here.
He is getting up there, so that means we just got to find us another first
Okay, so Nato right now in spring, my phone loads, is hitting 364. No home runs, but
baseman. Nobody,
that's okay.
We haven't hit a home run yet unless we did today.
No, we only got one run. We lost 7-1. There ain't no way we hit a home run.
Which I'm okay with no home runs if we play small ball and get runs and we win.
Yeah.
Games. Whatever.
As long as we can win. Let me tell you something, though. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to tell you something because I thought it was better than that, but I'm not going to even say it now. I'm not going to jinx it.
Oh, and we get Donnie back this year.
That's true.
That's another big one.
Out of 10 at-bats, Paul Goldschmidt is hitting an even 100 with 1 RBI. Like, are you serious?
Probably a sacrifice fly.
He didn't even hit 270 last year. It's 268, by the way.
268.
I just saw that. It was
Not
our
270.
former, MVP from the year before has hit 268 with 25 homers and 80 RBIs. Pathetic.
We're going to have to get a backup for him soon because he's up there and he's obviously
Reese.
getting worse.
We should have signed Reese.
Yeah, we should have.
I wanted Reese so bad. Kyle Gibson is awful to start with right now. 13.5 ERA.
Yeah.
That's not good. Not good.
In our spring,
Gorman hasn't done nothing.
I think we're like 3-5 now or something.
We're awful. I know that.
Yeah.
And then of course Sonny Gray. He's only pitched 2 innings, 1 game so far, but they were perfect.
Yeah.
With 2 strikeouts. So I'm not at all concerned about
I'm
Sonny.
not either.
I'm very confident. Ryan Helsley is perfect in 2 innings with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah. We actually, our bullpen's been
start.
decent. Our main bullpen.
Libertor is another one that's pitched a lot this spring, but he's at a
Yeah, 5.4
5.4
star the other day.
with 2 games. I don't even know if Lance Lynn's pitched yet, has he? No. We haven't let him pitch in the
He's
spring
probably
yet.
hurt.
And we haven't we've let Middleton. He has also 2 perfect innings
That's good.
with 1 strikeout. So that
I'll bump us up to a 2nd or 3rd place this year.
I'm going probably 3rd.
Because I think Milwaukee
Gallegos has pitched 3 innings with 2 Ks, no earned runs. Makes me feel really good there. So, and then they were saying Jordan's looking really good this spring, but he's only hitting 154 to start the spring. I'm not looking good with that.
Yeah, the other
And then
last games I
Mason
watched,
Wynn's hitting 400 right
Yeah,
now
I'm excited. Hopefully he
with
gets
3 stolen
better.
bases.
I'm hoping his offense gets.
I sure hope so. But man, we are.
Because defense is great.
And then Alec Burleson's hitting 429 and 14
Burleson's
at bats.
killing it.
Burleson's killing it. That's my mom's second favorite now behind Goldie. That's about all that I've got.
Yep.
So overall, I'm not too thrilled with where we're heading.
No, I think it'll be a better year than last year, but not by.
I think it's going to be better. We might finish at least 4th.
Yeah.
Hopefully better than Pittsburgh.
Some will finish last again.
But
I just want to win the record.
Yeah, I'm not super stoked. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that follow button on Instagram. Hit the follow button on Facebook. Whatever you want to do.
Eventually.
Yeah, we're going to hopefully put TikTok going. So very excited about it. Thank you guys for joining us.